Welcome to application training for Resistall, Undercoating and Sound Deadener. To begin, we're going to show you how to assemble the undercoating gun. You will want to verify you have all the required items. These are Teflon tape, number 5 Allen wrench, 1/4 inch air coupler, and a 14 mm wrench. Inside the undercoating box you will have the undercoating gun with a short brass barrel, the feeder tube, and a long barrel, regulator, set screws for the regulator, and the gauge. Begin by screwing the feeder tube into the chamber below the gun barrel. Next, apply the Teflon tape to the gun. You will only need to wrap twice, it does not take a lot of tape. Then apply the tape to the gauge. Again, wrapping only twice is sufficient. Next, apply the tape to the air coupler. Then apply the tape to one of the set screws. You will notice you have an extra set screw. This is simply a backup in case you need it. Now you will assemble the regulator to the gun. Notice the arrow on the regulator, make sure this points up towards the gun, not away from it. Now screw the regulator into the gun by turning it 3 to 4 times, ending with the regulator on the back of the gun. Don't over-tighten it. Assemble the gauge on the right-hand side of the gun. Again, don't over-tighten it. Now you will use the set screw that you applied the Teflon tape to and screw it into the back of the regulator by using a number 5 Allen wrench. The set screw will back out on you if you don't use an Allen wrench. Again, don't over-tighten it. The next step is to screw in the air coupler. Use the 14 mm wrench, but not too tight. The final step in the assembly is to remove the short brass barrel and attach the long barrel to the gun. For a more precise application, and less overspray, we recommend using the long barrel. At this point your gun is assembled and ready to be used. When you first open the canister, be sure to squeeze out the hardened top layer to prevent clogging issues. You can now screw the gun onto the canister. We recommend using a vise to compress the tip of the barrel for a more controlled spray pattern. Before beginning, use a drop cloth or plastic sheet to protect the shop floor and vehicle lift from overspray. Let's take a moment to review the areas to avoid applying the product. Stay away from any mechanical or moving parts. Wiring harnesses and drain plug access as well. Avoid spraying the heat shielding or any other non-metal surface. Be sure to remove the spare tire, if the vehicle is equipped with one. Once the air compressor hose has been attached to the gun, give it a few test sprays. Pop the regulator out and adjust the pressure to between 65 and 90 psi. Pop the regulator back down and you're ready to get started. Beginning on the side of the vehicle, below the door, spray in towards the center. Placing the drop cloth or plastic in between the running boards and lower doors will help to prevent overspray. Repeat the process on the opposite side of the vehicle. Again, spraying in towards the center. Once both sides are done, you can move below the vehicle and start behind the front tires, at the bottom of the firewall. Thoroughly apply an even coat as you work your way back, repeating the process for each side. If necessary, use a screwdriver to loosen plastic panels, so you can apply the undercoating behind them. Spray a much lighter coat over areas with seam sealers. You will notice as the product cures, the appearance will change from brown to black. Finally, walk through and coat any areas you might have missed. Once you've finished, the application process is complete. The final step is to clean out the undercoating gun. Remove the canister and clean off the feeder tube. Attach a separate canister with fresh clean water, and spray out the residual undercoating. Shaking a few times will help to break it down. Remove the water canister and wipe down once more. Hang the gun up until your next application. You are now ready to apply Resistall, Undercoating and Sound Deadener.